police and other emergency teams have entered the complex and are looking for the man. And we're told also that these pictures you're seeing showing that helicopter are evacuating some, or at least one, of the wounded. One official has described a chaotic scene, so it's difficult to get hard information as to what has happened and indeed what is still going on inside the complex. But this is the American Naval Sea Systems Command headquarters in Washington. It builds, it buys, and it maintains the Navy's ships and submarines, and indeed their combat systems. And some 3,000 people are employed there. An order has been put out for personnel at the base to shelter in place. That's according to the Navy. People basically told to put their heads down and stay put. But the security operation is not just taking place inside the base, but as you can see, in the streets outside as well. It's in a built-up hill near a river. Streets have been closed, schools locked down, bridges closed, and we understand that flights have been suspended at Washington's Reagan National Airport. The shooting happened sometime after 8 o'clock in the morning local time. It's not clear who the gunman is, whether he is indeed part of the Navy himself, whether he was already on the premises, whether he came from outside. Some reports said 3 shots were fired, but that sounds like one of those initial reports that is perhaps just talking about one part of this shooting, because we're now getting reports, as you can see, that several people, perhaps 10, have been wounded. And what you're seeing here is the situation unfolding. There are some reports that the gunman has a number of weapons and has barricaded himself in, but that is unconfirmed information. Let's recap if you're just joining us. This is a major security operation, an emergency situation underway in Washington, D.C. after a multiple shooting at a Navy base. It happened at the Naval Sea Systems Command headquarters, responsible for the US Navy's ships and submarines, not just the vessels themselves, but also their combat systems. A gunman is said to be on the loose inside the complex, and police and other emergency teams are in full swing, seeking him out, apparently on the premises. We've got unconfirmed reports suggesting that he's barricaded himself in somewhere and has several weapons. That, as I repeat, is unconfirmed information, but we do know that there have been a number of people injured, including some civilians, and we've seen pictures showing at least one helicopter evacuating the wounded away from the building. Some 3,000 people are employed at the premises, and those who are on the complex have been told effectively to seek shelter and stay put. And the security operation has been extended, obviously, to quite a widespread area around the city, with flights suspended at Reagan National Airport. Security stepped up on Capitol Hill and at the White House. And in the immediate vicinity of the complex, schools have been locked down, streets, and at least one bridge closed. Just to recap before we leave you, this is a major security operation underway in Washington after a multiple shooting at a US Navy base. It happened at the Naval Sea Systems Command headquarters. A gunman is understood to have shot several people, with several people being injured, and he's still at large. Police are actively searching for him.